I think this thrift haul had a divine intervention. What is going on, guys? Johnny here, riding solo. Frizz is man down. She has caught the bug that our son had at the beginning of the week, which probably means that I will be sick next week. But we're living in the now. She is on the mend, and hopefully I can avoid it. But this thrift haul yesterday that I want to show you, like I said, I think had a divine intervention to it, and I want to know what you guys think too. So what do I mean by a divine intervention? Now, many of you who have lost, well, all of us, I'm sure, have lost loved ones at some point, but you heard the saying that a cardinal, right, can represent the soul of somebody who passed. So when I was leaving for work, I walked to my car out the front door, and when I looked back at our car, or looked back at the front of the house, there was a cardinal that had just landed on our front steps. Very random, but almost as if to say hello or wish me off to work, whatever it was. So I waved bye to him. I think he was trying to tell me something. Have you ever had this feeling that something was just, Jesus, take the wheel, right? Something was just telling you to go somewhere, and almost like you weren't even in control. It just glided you to where you were supposed to go. Well, that happened to me on my way home from work. Something was telling me to go to a thrift store that I had not been to in a very, very long time. Now, I have mentioned this casually in passing that I am currently turning my basement into kind of a man cave, a little bit of a lounge. My dad has been doing most of the work, so shout out to Pops, and thanks to him. And we're getting to the point now where I can start to think about some decor. And something, sorry, you can see the reflection of our studio, but something drew me to this duck. He just had a certain vibe that I was going for. But little did I know that this bird was also telling me about another bird. I'll pop in some videos of what I found as I found them at the store, but I was more expecting to make a lunch break, a short video if you're not following us on TikTok and Instagram. So it's going to be kind of the long way, but a couple things I picked up because I do love just picking up some random vintage things. Big dogs, I would not add this to the bolo. These have pretty much fallen off over the last couple years, but every once in a while, a good graphic will sell. This is from 2004, so technically it's vintage. I can probably get like 18 shipped for it, so why not? Then I found this one, which is another good reminder. If you've watched any of our videos before, we always say to look up the weird, right? If something's weird or strikes a little bit different. But I saw this, I don't know, Villone. I don't know. Maybe you knew what it was. I had no idea what it was, but something that caught my eye was this tag. It's not like a normal tag. So something told me to look this up, and boy, am I glad I did. Comps like this can go for over $100. So maybe that duck was trying to tell me something, but it gets a little more fun than that. I can't think that that duck or that cardinal told me to pick up a hunting vest, but this is a Beretta. Look at that, made in Italy, a Beretta hunting jacket or vest. And these can go for about $90, so I had to pick this up, but surely that wasn't what that duck was talking about. Not a bolo, but some of these Tiger Wood t-shirts can actually sell pretty quickly. This is a UNLV, so a college, University of Nevada at Las Vegas. I don't know. I mean, maybe 20 bucks, 25 bucks. Sometimes I just pick things up because it's cool. And speaking of not cool, smoking, guys. Smoking is not cool, but this cool vintage cigarette shirt was kind of cool. It even has that 90s style, like, double line t-shirt on it. Comps like this are like 18 to 20 bucks, but I'm, sucker. I'm a sucker. I don't encourage it, but, But Duck, duck, goose. Check this out. I do think that cardinal was trying to tell me something this morning when he just guided me to the thrift store on the way home. And then he showed me that duck picture, because little did I know that if I kept looking, I was going to find this. Look at this Anaheim Mighty Ducks on the starter tag. from 1994. Is this not one of the most beautiful things you have ever seen? You're probably going to say not, but I think this is absolutely amazing. But look at, from a cardinal to a duck to another duck, we picked this up, and I was going through the racks just kind of one by one, and something told me to just stay where I was and keep going. There was a divine intervention that said stay where you were, because there was a shirt that I had eyed kind of across the store, and there were some other thrifters and resellers in there, so I got a little bit nervous, but something said stay where you were, and a couple shirts later I found this guy. Not the biggest sale in the world, but I think we could probably get $75 for it. But when I think of vintage, and I know Frizzy said that it doesn't sell for much, and a lot of it doesn't, but it's just too cool. But I think, like I said, that cardinal pointed me to that duck to say, hey, there's another duck out there. And believe it or not, there were more. Not more vintage NHL shirts, but more ducks. This is cool. You know when the iron strikes, the iron's hot and you have to keep going? Well, that's what I did. I snuck out on my way home and I stopped by one more Goodwill when I got close to home. And look at this, guys. A mallard duck decoy kit from LL Bean. This is from 1984, and it's a paint your own decoy duck kit. Really, the painted ducks of these can go for about $150, anywhere from $80 to $150. I have not seen any unpainted. I would have to think that might be worth more, maybe not. Somebody doesn't want to do the work, but how cool is this? 3 ducks in one day, and I think it was because of that cardinal. Let me know what you think. Was that cardinal telling me something this morning, or did a bird just randomly land on my doorstep? Let me know what you think. But I also found this Good Mythical Morning. Hoodie that can go for about $70. Good Mythical Morning, one of the YouTube videos we first started watching when we started watching YouTube a couple years back. Pretty cool. So snagged this women's North Face hoodie, the North Face hoodie. Size small, but cool kind of static pattern to it. I'm thinking 25-30. Not something I would normally pick up, but do you find yourself picking things up that you may not have when things are just going well? You just want to add it to the pile, and I think that's what happened here. And then to round out my thrifting for the day, I found this ACG Nike kind of fanny pack, but great sell-through rate. Comps were pushing $40, so at $4.99, I had to snag it. Not bad. So there you have it. As Billy Madison would say, that's quacktastic. I think that was a quacktastic day. We are going to have big profits from selling ducks. Looking back in, I forgot a couple things. This is awesome. I found this University of Buffalo vintage wool varsity jacket that still actually has the tags on it. To find a University of Buffalo jacket in the middle of North Carolina was not something I was expecting. They only had this for $6.99. I don't think many people would have known what this was, but I did. Being a Buffalonian myself, I'm thinking somewhere around $120, and I paid $6.99. I've sold 2 of these in the past and told myself never again, but today it was just different. But guys, I picked up a typewriter. Heavy, very heavy. Shipping is not going to be fun. I sold 2 of these, and actually they both sold on Facebook Marketplace, which both led to some interesting encounters. So we'll see. 3rd time's the charm, but this Royal Classic typewriter, they wanted $15 for it. Comps are around 100. I always look at typewriters like the Smith Coronas, and some of the IBM ones actually do really, really well. You just have to pack them, ship them, deal with them, put them on Facebook Marketplace, whatever it is. To me, it's a little bit of a chore, but I was just feeling a little bit different at the thrift store, so I picked it up. I do riding solo. Is there anything that you guys pick up that you just absolutely hate, but you pick them up? That's me in typewriter. Still, hopefully going to flip a pretty good profit there, but let me know in the comments, how did I do? What is your least favorite thing that you can't help but buy? And let's look at what's been selling. Okay, magically swept away into the garage. 35 total sales going out. 18 on eBay, 12 on Poshmark, 3 Mercari, 2 Depop, partridge in a pear tree. So 35 sales. I didn't look at the total. We're going to show just some of the highlights so you can see them. We don't need to go through all 35. So we'll pop some eBay ones up here to get started, and then we'll go from there. Also, people have been asking about our inventory system. So this is something that we came up with that works with us for shoes. So we use the custom SKU in eBay. When you're going to do your listing and you go into your item description, you'll see custom SKU. So say for instance, these sorels, we put B1 in the custom SKU. So when they sell, it'll say custom SKU B1, and we go snag them and pull them out, versus what we used to do, which was just dig through bins until we found pairs. With our clothes, we just have a whole bunch of numbered bins. I think we go up to, I don't know, 48 or something like that. But in the item description, you'll see custom SKU, and then we'll just put 2 or 3 or 30 or 29, whatever the case may be. And then when something sells and it says it's in custom SKU bin, we just go to the bin and then search through the bin. We used to bag everything, and then anything that got kind of old, the bags just kind of got crappy, for a lack of a better term. They just crinkled up and stuff like that. So we got away from the bagging of the clothes, and we just throw them in this way. We haven't had any issues. No, knock on wood, no bugs, smells, anything like that. We don't smoke or anything like that. So nothing to make it smell. So everything's good there. But that's it. That's a quick look at how we do our inventory process. Let's get into it. 18 sales on eBay for $823. I checked in on Frizz. We know she's not feeling well. I made sure she wasn't faking it and was just avoiding a video this week because I had some pretty cool sales. We're going to highlight a couple and then we'll pop some other comps up. But if you saw, I don't know, maybe 2 videos ago, these hook wading fishing boots, they sold in like a week and a half for $50 plus shipping. If you have been subscribed for a while, then you've heard me talk about these Ben 10 characters before. I picked these up in... It was a Savers in Buffalo. It was my first time ever going to a Savers, and the Savers there had a bunch of pre-bagged, they were in like clear bags of just toys, and I seen some that kind of looked like this guy that sold for $26 that looked very unique and different, and just thought they looked kind of cool. So what I did was, through the bag, I took a picture so I could Google Lens it. Found out that a lot of these are worth a lot of money, and we have made our money times over. But a couple stragglers left, but this guy again, $26. Which is a great PSA reminder. Use your phone. I had never heard of Ben 10 characters. We don't really sell a lot of toys, but just going through, if you see something that looks a little odd or a little different, take your phone out, go to Google, take a picture of the item, use Google Lens and see what pops up, and check comps from there, because I'm sure glad we did. Definitely using keywords like Western, but look at this jacket that Frizz found. It is a vintage Sully, but look at this jacket with the fringe. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely beautiful, going out for $75. Next up are these Rothy's that I picked up at Goodwill. They were $6.99. Picked these up a couple weeks ago. They sold pretty darn quick for $40. All Rothy's are not created equal, so you definitely want to look at different styles and colors and things like that, because the resale can really change a lot based on those things. We picked up these Levi shorts, dead stock at the bins over the winter, and they have been sitting there for a while. But as soon as the temperatures warmed up, an offer came in for 28 bucks, and we took it. You saw my Mighty Duck shirt earlier, which had to be one of my most favorite finds of all time. Again, it'll probably go for like 70, 75 bucks, but to find that in a thrift store to me is just, chef's kiss. But another one, my favorite sale of the week is this Hartford Whalers jersey. If you saw our couple videos back, I picked this up at a garage sale. I paid $50 a piece for 4 jerseys. We've sold 2 of them so far. This one going out for $94. Definitely didn't want to pay 50 bucks a piece for them. The guy was originally asking 75, but sometimes you just like things and you don't worry so much about the margins when you know it's going to sell. Drop in the comments and let me know, do you overpay for a certain thing or a certain niche because you just love it and you really don't care so much about the profits, you just want to buy it and sell it? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to our Depop portion, we just had 2 sales, but they totaled $100, and one of them is this LL Bean shirt that's going out for $15. So 2 sales, $100, and the first one was $15. That means the second one was pretty good. Right here, vintage strikes again, guys. I know Frizz doesn't love it, but this X-Files shirt we've had for a couple months, but on that single stitch. So if you just notice that one stitch there, that is single stitch. But this X-Files shirt, again, sold for $85. We got an offer for $85.70, and I took it. I think I had it listed for like $115, but this was a bins pickup. So I paid less than $1 and turned it into $85. Gotta love it. Mercari, 3 sales, and I'm curious, since all of the changes have been going on and all of that, has Mercari been impacted much for you? We come in waves. Some mornings we'll wake up and there's 2 Mercari sales, and then we won't have any for 5 days after that. But this University of Kentucky Wildcats quarter zip that we have had since probably we started reselling 2.5 years ago, sold for $10 or $9 actually, but with no fees, just move it. This Adult Swim shirt that I picked up for $3 at a Goodwill when we were, I don't know where we were traveling to, but sold for $10. Happy to see it go. And then also with summer, we sold some Patagucci shorts. And then wrapping our sales up for the weekend. So this was just Friday evening, Saturday, and then it's lunchtime on Sunday right now. So hopefully some more. We said in our last What Sold video that sometimes some Mondayers come in and they buy some things before Monday starts. But 12 sales, $315. We're not going to show you all of them, but we will pop some of the other ones up just so you can see what's selling, what kind of brands. We also like to do this. We know people don't love What Sold videos, but it also shows you what's selling on different platforms. We have seen huge growth in Depop over the last couple months, selling things that we never thought in a million years would be selling on Depop. So pay attention to what kind of things sell on what platforms. First up, I'm just going to pop up this picture because they're already wrapped up, but these Doc Martens, we sold them a couple weeks ago. They were returned for not fitting. This time they sold on Posh, so they will not be returned for not fitting, but they sold for $70. I think they sold for $65 the first time, so we'll take it. This is a brand that if you're not aware of, you should be, and probably add it to your BOLO list. Now, yes, this is a Republican hat. We're not getting into any of that. But what I do want you guys to pay attention to is Smathers and Branson. They make kind of this like cross-stitch style vibe design. We have sold belts before, like colleges and things like that. This hat sold for $24. Some of the belts we've sold have gone upwards of $70. Yes, they sell the other party and it covers everything. But Smathers and Branson, add that to your BOLO list. Because we love to teach people about new brands, babble up. Babolat is a tennis brand. We sold 2 rackets that we picked up from a garage sale last year, about a month ago, for $175 for 2 rackets. This bag just sold for $37, and I think we paid $3 at a garage sale. So, Babolat, add it to your tennis bolo list. Now, this next brand you're probably already aware of, but that is Spanx. These leggings, new with tag, size small, sold for $40. A returning brand on our sales list for this weekend, LL Bean. We don't typically sell a ton of LL Bean, but these Boat tote bags are a bolo for sure. And if you look, LL Bean Boat tote. Now this one is a little bit more modern, and the color on it I think hurt the value, so this only sold for $25. But we have sold some other ones that are kind of like cream, and they'll be like navy blue. We've sold those for $100 plus. So keep LL Bean Boat totes on your radar. So there you have it, 35 sales, $1,300, a few bolos. Hopefully Frizz will be back by my side for the next video when she's feeling better. But be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Be sure to keep following Frizzy on IG and TikTok as she's been posting every day. I know you've been getting a lot of the lunch breaks recently. That's just because I've been covering for our girl while she's down. But she'll be back with more content soon, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Another video in the books. Frizz is starting to feel better, which is great news. But if you've made it this far in the video, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to us.